I sold MSTY and moved that money into Round Hill's WPAY. Yeah, I know that's a bold move, especially since MSTY has been one of the most talked about high yield ETF out there. But I want to break down exactly why I made that decision and why WPAY feels like the better fit for me right now. So let's start with MSTY. Look, I get why so many people love it. It's flashy, the payouts look massive, and when you first buy in, it feels like you've found this secret income machine. I was there too. I bought it, I collected those payouts, and for a while I thought, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. But here's the problem. Gradually, share price is decreasing with a major dip in recent days. Over time, I also realized that those payouts weren't as stable as I wanted them to be. They looked great on paper, but they came with a lot of strings attached. MSTY is built around one stock, and that means your entire investment is tied to how that single company performs. When the stock has a good month, you're happy, but when it doesn't, you start worrying about your income, your capital, and your strategy as a whole. And honestly, I don't want to be glued to one company like that anymore. The more I looked at it, the more it felt like chasing hype instead of building something I could actually hold for the long term. Sure, the numbers made headlines, but in the back of my mind, I kept asking myself, is this really sustainable? And when you start questioning the foundation of what you're holding, that's usually a sign it's time to make a move. That's where WPAY comes in. When I first heard about it, I wasn't sure what to think. Another income-focused ETF. Okay, cool, but what makes it different? And then I saw the structure. Unlike MSTY, WPAY doesn't lock you into one stock. It spreads things out. That instantly gave me more confidence because diversification means you're not living and dying by the performance of just one company. And here's what really got me. WPAY pays weekly. Now, I don't know about you, but that feels like a game changer. Getting income every week instead of once a month smooths things out so much. It feels like a steady paycheck, and that's a lot easier to plan around. Whether you want to reinvest it, use it to cover bills, or just keep cash flowing, that rhythm matters. With MSTY, I'd sit there waiting for the next monthly payout, but WPAY makes it feel more consistent and practical. Another big reason I switched was peace of mind. With MSTY, I always had this nagging feeling in the back of my head. I'd watch the underlying stock move up and down, and I knew it was going to directly impact my ETF. It almost felt like I was just holding the stock itself with a bit of income sprinkled on top. With WPAY, I don't get that same stress. It feels broader, more stable, and less tied to one company's fate. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying WPAY is perfect. No ETF is. There are always risks, always trade-offs. But when I compared it side by side with MSTY, the decision became pretty clear. MSTY gave me flashy numbers, but left me worried about sustainability. WPAY gives me steady, weekly income with more diversification and less stress. For me, that's an easy choice. And the funny thing is, since switching, I've actually felt more comfortable just holding it. I'm not checking prices every day. I'm not stressing over volatility in one stock, and I'm not second-guessing my decision. That, to me, is worth a lot more than chasing the biggest possible payout. Now, I know some of you watching might be thinking, why would you walk away from those massive MSTY payouts? And that's fair. Some people are fine with the risk and love the high numbers. But I've realized that chasing the highest payout doesn't always mean you're making the smartest choice for the long run. Sometimes it's better to pick something steady that you can actually rely on week after week. At the end of the day, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell MSTY and buy WPAY. I'm just sharing my experience, why I personally made the move and why it feels right for me. If you're holding MSTY, that's cool. If you're curious about WPAY, that's cool too. Just make sure whatever you're holding lines up with your goals and what you want your portfolio to actually do for you. So yeah, that's the story. I sold MSTY, I bought WPAY, and honestly, I don't regret it. For me, the weekly payouts, the broader diversification, and the peace of mind all made it worth it. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder that sometimes chasing the hype isn't as good as building something you can actually hold on to without losing sleep. Now I want to hear from you. Would you stick with MSTY for the big numbers, or would you go for WPAY for the consistency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your takes, and I know a lot of people in this community are debating the same thing right now. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to MoneyStick Unfiltered, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown. We're going to keep looking at these high-yield ETFs, the risks, the rewards, and whether they really live up to the hype.